Okay, Tracy, thank you very much for joining us for Hablo Talks here in London. I want to find out a little bit more about your journey. Okay, so tell us what's inspired you to get into the travel industry.
Well, it goes back a bit because when I finished university in 1982, all my classmates and friends were scrambling to interview and find jobs. I decided I'd take a journey to Europe and backpack. If you can remember the Europe on $5 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my mission. And I did. And I honestly think it was probably the best education I got. Over the summer of 1982, I was able to journey to 11 different countries and throughout Europe.
Fantastic.
And it just inspired me in so many ways. And here I am today. Can't say I got there for a direct line because I didn't go straight back and find a job in tourism. I actually got a job at a bank. As far removed from tourism as you can get, maybe. But, and then I taught school, and that really inspired me to find my way to the travel industry.
Right,
Yes.
okay, oh, nice one.
So yes, in the later 80s, I found myself at Mark Travel, a large tour operator in the U.S., and as product manager, and started packaging Europe. It was wonderful, yeah.
In the industry you've had, and you've been to different destinations, you've worked for different destinations as well. Why is it the best industry to work in?
The best reason to work in this industry is because people love what they do. You know, they say if you love what you do, it's not really a job. And I honestly think that we're all so passionate about what we do, so we're just happier people. And I mentioned that I had done banking and teaching, and it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida used to have this saying, like, when you got it bad, we have it good. And I know what it feels like to have a different career like I did. I was in banking, I was in teaching. And people just aren't as happy in those positions. But I honestly feel like we're all so passionate about what we do. We love what we do. There's a, good energy, people we work with, positive. And so I just think that's probably the best part of it. It's like every day feels good. I mean, I love my team. I love the people that we work with around the world. Because once you're in, you're in. There's no getting out.
No, very true.
And I find the destination side of it's really wonderful because we get to go around the world, and people that you work with become friends. I mean, I have lifetime friends now in different parts of the world because we stay. It's not a revolving door in this industry on my side of the business.
What's your most memorable travel experience?
One of my best friends, actually my very best friend, she's Canadian, and she wanted to celebrate her 50th birthday at an Irish pub. And she lives in Toronto at the time, but she met an Irish pub in Ireland. And so she invited all her friends to join her to do that. And I decided, yes, I would absolutely be part of this celebration. But I have 3 children. One was actually here on her summer holiday with her high school, was in continental Europe, touring around. But my 2 boys were home, and so I decided to take them with me. And so we flew into Ireland. We were over in Kerry for this big event and so forth. Anyway, so I had rented a car, and we'd done Dublin. We'd driven across the island, and we'd gone to the big event and stuff. And we were heading back to Dublin, and on this particular day, and driving back, and just such a beautiful country. And my youngest, who was, I think, 9 at the time, 10 at the time, we were just driving by, and we were in County Cork, and he's like, Mom, can we climb this hill? And I'm like, absolutely, just pull over. We climbed this hill. My oldest is big time into photography, took all these amazing pictures. But this whole day was like that. It was just random what we did. It's very spontaneous, and just like one of the best days of my life. And then I realized it's getting late, it's getting dark, and I'm running out of gas.
Wow.
And it's not like in the U.S. It's just like gas stations everywhere. And I'd actually used points at a Marriott. We were staying south of Dublin at kind of a golf resort. It was our last night, splurging. And anyway, so I was terrified because I was like, I've got to get straight there. I can't be wandering off anymore. So I called the hotel, and the concierge said, well, what are you looking at? And I'm like, well, I'm looking at a pub here and a pub here. And he said, I know right where you are. Stay where you are. I'll be right there. He literally drove and met me and said, follow me. And we got back to the hotel because I was like, I'm about to run out of gas. I can't, wander off. And so got straight to the hotel, and he literally came and opened my door and said, "You don't worry about anything here. You just go in." And I just think that's the best. And it's so funny because in the U.S., we hear stories about the Irish. You ask directions, not only will they give them to you, but they'll take you. And that's exactly what happened for me.
How hospitable as well. In your time of need as well. So
yeah, exactly. So yes, I love that story.
Who's been your biggest mentor?
Well, oddly enough, my very first job out of college, 1982, when I finally came back from Europe and didn't get a job, I was working for the largest independent bank in West Texas, in Midland, Texas. And the gentleman that hired me, honestly, he's stayed with me my entire career because his whole goal was to uplift his team. And he was kind of like the behind the scenes guy. I mean, he was our VP of marketing for this large independent bank. It was his mission to bring the best out in each of us and find our place and help us excel at what we did. Mm-hmm. And I just have never forgotten that. Like and I was fresh out of college. I was naive and, just really probably didn't have that much to offer at that time. But he really looked after me and helped me grow in that short time that I worked for him. The bank was folding. It was going under. And first thing that goes is marketing, and he made sure he looked after me and put me in another department that was hanging on. But it just always resonated with me that as my role as a boss is to uplift my staff and help them find what they do best and make them shine. Because in the end, we all, shine. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go on to Visit Lauderdale now.
Yes.
What's the best part of working for Visit Lauderdale?
Best part is I get to live there.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat it. It is absolutely, I love it. I live in South Florida. We're a year-round destination, and it's such a perk, like not only represent it, but to live there and just enjoy it. And I live beachside now, and every day I go out and ride my bike in the morning before work so I can catch the sunrise, and I will never tire of that. And it's amazing every day. I see the same people. Many of us are doing the same thing every day. We're out, getting our exercise, enjoying our fresh air, watching that sunrise, and starting another beautiful day in my wonderful community. But I love my community because people do love it. It's like in our industry, we talk about people are very passionate about what we do, but I feel like people that live in Fort Lauderdale, they love their community.
What's new for next year?
Well, let me start off by saying that we actually rebranded ourselves in the course of the past year. And we are now Visit Lauderdale versus Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau. We now use the tagline, "Everyone Under the Sun." And we think that really represents who we are because what we think's best about us is that we're a very diverse community and a very welcoming community. And we really are. And you really get that sense when you come there because everybody's accepted. It was big for us. We did that this past spring, launched our new brand and so forth. So we're excited now that the borders are opening as well, and for us to be able to get out and share that with folks. But the community itself, in 2020, we opened 6 new properties. So even while we were in this pandemic, there's been so much investment in our community, the hotels. So 6 new properties last year and 13 online for this year to open up by the end of 2021. So that's been amazing for us. I hear a lot of other communities talk about, restaurants that closed, hotels that closed. We had none of that. Our restaurants are all back online. We have many new restaurants, new hotels. There's just a real vibe. We had a great summer. We had a lot of domestic visitors come in. And our most exciting thing we've learned about in the past week is that Norse Atlantic has announced, and they're part of the team. Some of the people from Norse that are backing it were from Norwegian, but they shared last week in Fort Lauderdale that they are looking to launch new flights out of London, Paris, and Oslo. We're hoping by at least second quarter of 2022. So we're looking at hopefully having some new service coming in.
That's good. That's good. I can't wait. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tracy. Really enjoyed talking to you, and all the best.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you very much.